Greetings everyone, I hope you've been well. I had some requests to shoot another video on my technological prototype, the P.E.A.R, P-E-A-R, or Pyramid Electricity Amplifier Router. The last video I was trying to shoot the magnetic pyramid concept on cut out halfway through. So I want to re-demonstrate that, and I want to explain how the design has evolved a little bit. So let's begin. I'll first show you my new blueprint here. This is version 1.3. I want you to get a close look at it here, and I'll explain how it works. You see A here. We have 8 of these, but see over here there's actually 16 of them. There's 4 above and 4 below each base of these pyramids. And each of these is connected to a capacitor and has a magnet within it and a coil around it. Now B is our capstone here. From this capstone, which has an exterior power source to begin with, which will be the wall outlet, this will enable all of these to spin as well because of the magnetic pyramid concept, which I'm going to explain to you shortly. See the invisible torus there that the magnetic field makes. It's called electromagnetic induction. And we all know in basic science that if you run a magnet through copper wire, you get electricity. And that's the whole basis of this idea. So, I'll show you what we're looking at here. This is the phase I'm at currently. Okay, what we see here is our base. What you're looking at here is one of the bottom of our pyramids. And I have the coils here, so it's going to look something like this. And again, the design has evolved. This is only half of the prototype I'm showing you here. I just want to give you a good basic idea without making everything overly complex. So it will look something like this, and the magnets will spin in the center, as you can see. And these will naturally generate electricity. The coils are all wound in copper wire, copper magnet wire. We have our positive and our negative feed here. In the final prototype, I will be using 24 gauge wire, as I calculated that would be the most efficient for just a prototype to design that this concept can work, and that it can generate more electricity than it uses in a great amount. There's 10 pounds of it here, 10 pounds of 24 gauge copper wire, copper magnet wire. This should be enough for all of the 16 or 17 coils I will need to make this device work. I will show you the neomags here. These are very dangerous magnets. These are not toys. They can result in breaking fingers or greatly interfering with electronics. So you must be very careful with these magnets. And that's why in the final design, the final prototype, for safety protocols, I'm going to have a plexiglass case which holds each magnet in place, and each one is correctly spaced for the right magnetic grid and pull force that we will need to make this design work. You see, ultimately, this is a fourth dimensional application, everyone. Civilian people are not really hip on these type of terms, like fourth dimension. But that's what this device is, and that's why it can generate more electricity than it uses, because a fourth dimensional object exists beyond most current comprehension of space and time. Okay, I'm going to get my large neomags now and demonstrate the magnetic pyramid for you once again. These are extremely dangerous neomags. They are very powerful. You can see there's rings between them, because if there were no rings here, they would be extremely difficult to separate, almost impossible. So you must be very, very careful when you're dealing with ones of this size. I'm going to separate them now very carefully. I'm going to make sure that the one I set back down here is not close to any metal. It's still on its rings, and it's not going to roll around. Right. Now, in my previous video, I demonstrated this concept. I'm going to attempt to do it again. But again, this is dangerous. You must be careful when you're doing this. Now, I can't get it too close to the computer either, because it will cause interference. So what I'm going to show you here is, as this top magnet spins, the lower 4 will spin with it. Look very closely and you can see it. If you cannot see it, then check out my other video. It also shows this concept is working. See, I'm spinning the magnet here. I'm recording directly from my laptop, so there's no tomfoolery here. There's no edits. This is all happening right now. I'm really hoping you can see that there. And if not, I will have a link in my video description to my prior video, which shows it quite clearly. I'm now going to return this magnet to the other one very carefully, ensuring I don't break my fingers. Okay. And ensuring that they're not going to roll around any further. All right. So, now with this design in mind, I will show you the blueprint once again. Originally, I was only going to use one pyramid. However, since the design has evolved, I thought, let's try to put 4 more above. As above, so below. And sure enough, the day I was shooting and trying this, it worked. But of course, that video was cut out for some reason. I still don't understand why. It was possibly the magnetics, I'm not sure. Anyone who gets into this field of technology knows that you're fighting an uphill battle trying to produce these prototypes. So maybe that was a factor as well, I'm not sure. However, I want to be much more clear in this video, much more concise in what's happening here. So you just saw this concept will work. Now there's 4 more above it as well that are going to work. Now I came across the problem of these magnets being sucked up into the capstone because of the pull force. So to remedy that, the final design will have 4 more under here as well. So there will be 16 magnets and the 17th capstone magnet, which is one of the large ones. So by spacing it just correctly on each side, they will not only hold each other in place via the magnetic pull force, they will also create this tesseract grid, or 4th dimensional cube grid, which will also ensure safety. Now lastly, I'm going to show you the magnets that are going to be used for that. These are from KJ Magnetics neodymium magnets, very powerful. These ones are larger than these ones here. They're not as large as the other ones I showed you, but these should be ideal for the 16 coils that are going to be generating over unity electricity via geomagnetism. There's 8, 16 in total. These were a little pricey, but again, thanks to my gracious investors and those who are helping me to make this happen, it's starting to come together. And I'm getting closer each day, everyone. The physics are there. I just demonstrated for you. The physics are there. We all know if you run a magnet over copper wire, you get electricity. I've just displayed that by spinning one magnet in the center, you can generate 16 more that spin. That's 1600% over unity. And possibly with the power of these magnets, we could be looking at even more. We could be looking at even 3200% electricity. There's some additional applications that I have yet to try. But again, I need more funding before I can, chart these ideas and document them with all the data that I need. And lastly, that's where you come in, everyone. That's where I need your help. If you're interested, I will have links in my video description to my entire presentation, my funding sites, and additional explanation of my whole company, 0 Point Technologies. This is only one of the many prototypes that I have in mind. This is just one application. I have several other 4th dimensional applications that I will be bringing up soon. But again, we need your support, everybody. We need your help. Your contributions will not only lead to a greater civilization for all of us, it will eventually lead for everybody not having to pay for electrical utility anymore. Everyone will be generating their own electricity. They'll become more sovereign. They will need less, and they'll become more prosperous. And that's the whole point of my entire company, is prosperity. And when you have prosperity, profit comes naturally. So again, check it out, everyone, and I hope I was thorough in my explanation, and be well.